Hi everyone, we're going to look at exponents multi-step here, where we've got two different bases. We've got x's and we've got 7's, and there's multiple steps here we're going to need to do to simplify this. So looking at our numerator here, we've got parentheses. We can simplify this a little bit first. We've got multiple powers of 7. The x to the negative 6 is not going to change, so it's still going to be there. But 7 to the negative 2 times 7 to the negative 6, that's our multiplying rule, so we can just keep the base the same, and we can add the exponents to a negative 8. It's like if it's x squared times x cubed, that's just x to the 5th. That's our rule for multiplying with the same base. So that would be times 7 to the negative 8, all raised to a power of 2 in parentheses, and then our denominator is same idea. We can do the same thing with the 7 to the negative 1s, and that gives us 7 to the negative 2. So that would be x to the positive 6 times 7 to the negative 2. From here, we can then take care of the power on the outside of the parentheses here by essentially distributing that in to each of the powers on the inside. So that looks like this. It would be x to the negative 6 squared times 7 to the negative 8 squared. So we're essentially taking that squared and we're just giving it to everything on the inside. And then on the bottom, still the same, x to the 6 times 7 to the negative 2. So when we have power to a power, we actually multiply those exponents. That's the rule for power to a power. So this would be x to the negative 12th times y to the negative 16th. Well, I called it a y. 7 to the negative 16th. All over x to the 6 times 7 to the negative 2. Then we can break up this fraction into two fractions with our x's in one fraction and our 7's in the other fraction. And the reason this works is because this is doing multiplication of fractions backwards. Like 1/2 times 3/4 would be 1 times 3 over 2 times 4. So we're just doing that backwards to separate these out into two separate fractions. Now our division rule says to keep the base and subtract the exponents. So negative 12 minus 6 would be negative 18 times 7 to the negative 16 minus negative 2. Be careful there. You've got 16 negatives. Taking away 2 negatives would only be 14 negatives left. So negative 14 would be the exponent of the 7. And then we don't usually leave it with a negative exponent. Usually we make it a positive by putting it in the denominator if it's already in the numerator, which it is. So it looks like this. And then you could call this one fraction again, x to the 18th times 7 to the 14th with a 1 up top. And then we're done.